Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
And now, the A-Plus League.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the A-Plus Sports League podcast. Week 11, picks and preview, Survivor Picks Part 2. Today is Friday, November 20th. Remember to click that like button, subscribe, share the video, spread it out as much as you can. I'm your host, Matty Maitag. With me, as always, is Matt Limonati and the Clown Commissioner himself, Nick Cometa. What do you got to say for yourself, Clown Commish?
I did nothing wrong. This is not my fault. This is all fake news that you hear and see. I did nothing wrong.
Before we even get into this, which is hilarious in and of itself, I just want you to know that Matty Maitai's greeting people in normal conversation starts with "What's happening, guys?" So that's not just a podcast thing.
Why you pull back the curtains like that?
Hey,
Why you gotta give away the trade secret?
A peek behind the kimono.
well, I'm just saying that I'm happy you're deflecting that way.
Yeah, what to say? The attention should be on Nick here. Please fill the listeners in what happened.
I wanted to start off, give Nick a little bit of a chuckle before we just rip on him for a little bit. But he is the commissioner of our work fantasy league here. And one of his good buddies who works upstairs with us is going up against another coworker who is called Big Bad Baldner. He thinks his team's hot shit. He doesn't have a kicker yet this week, and so the commish, Nick, and this other guy, Bill, decided it would be funny to if they could pick up all of the kickers in free agency. So the commissioner decided to add a bunch of roster spots so that the 14 additional bench spots from what we currently have in order for them to pick up all of the free agent kickers.
Is this correct?
What the commissioner didn't realize, even though it says it directly on the commissioner tools page of Yahoo, is that you can add roster spots after the draft has been completed. You cannot reduce roster and bench slots after the draft has been completed. Every single team now has 14 empty roster spots that the commish is now going to have to keep track and make sure nobody's abusing that.
I feel like as much as they did put it in green bold on the side, I feel like they really need to make that pop again, and they should really underline, please think before you do this because you can't reduce. I didn't even see it.
Should there be a submission button like right before it says, "Hey douchebag, are you sure you want to do this?"
Yeah, there should definitely be, when you do hit submit, they should be having a pop-up. Are you sure you want to do this? You cannot undo this action. I feel like Yahoo, you dropped the ball on that one.
Oh, so now it's Yahoo.
Yeah, I'm pushing it on Yahoo.
Pushing it on Yahoo.
Different colored and bolded.
Bill and I actually had a great idea. It was hilarious.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Not
as funny as seeing your reaction realizing you couldn't reduce it.
It was, I think, more. It was better seeing Ballmer's face knowing that one when he went to say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll play without a kicker," and then he went to go pick up a kicker. That literally the only people that were available were
backup kickers.
No, not even backup. All IR and NA guys. We picked up anyone that had the potential
to even play.
So that was good. And then he realized, oh, I have 14 empty roster spots. I'm gonna go pick up a player. And then he realized
you
lost all of his teams.
I can't wait to get Phillip Rivers on my team. That's all I'm gonna say.
So that was awesome. One guy, Mike Fiore, has already abused it by picking up Brian Hoyer, which is funny, Pat's guy. Sandro Platzgummer.
Excuse me. Hold on. Let's repeat that. Sandro Platzgummer.
Hell of a name.
And Devois Whaley, who's a Cincinnati running back. Obviously, Limonati, you know this person, right?
I have heard the name before.
Get the fuck out.
5 minutes ago. Never heard of this guy.
And then I said, oh, wait, I have heard of him, but I completely forgot he was even on the fucking team.
And now, he just picked CJ Uzma.
Uzma is actually an okay player, but he's not playing this year.
Is Keyshawn Johnson available?
Yeah.
So
T.O.
Fiore is continuing to troll me, which I expected him to be the one to do so. But hey, being the commissioner comes at an expense.
Well,
Sometimes I try to make the league too fun.
I think
This is my fault. Maybe I shouldn't make it.
There is a reason your face is blue with a clown nose on it, similar to Roger Goodell's, because of things like this.
It's very fun. And then we can go back to last year when I switched my team in the playoffs to make sure that a player got an extra 20 points. Was it Emmanuel Sanders on my bench? I put him in. No one really found out until I.
Oh no, I knew.
Oh yeah, it was discovered very quickly. You're really destroying the credibility of the A+ league name here. I mean, this is the A+ league. We've already had 2 things of corruption.
Well, I think that the
If there's
new
not controversy, there's not news. I mean,
It's true.
we want to spice it up a little bit.
any publicity is good publicity. Is that your motto here?
Yeah, what happened before that? It was a trade that got vetoed and somebody quit the league, right? We had that happen. What happened 2 years ago? I forgot.
All A+ content.
Oh, the trade last year with Libinati, where he accepted a trade but then didn't want to do a trade that he accepted,
Yeah, he said
trading away
his
Keenan out.
screen did not show the additional
I
players.
didn't see all the players. Yeah.
Sure, go for it. I think the moral of the story here, well, beyond that, our new podcast logo might have to be the Clown Commish logo.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think the moral of the story here is that you shouldn't play in fucking fantasy leagues that have kickers. I will say that is all I will say.
It's fun. Make kickers fun again.
Maybe reduce the points, but they deserve a spot.
Yeah, they did.
They're part of special teams. We already have defensive special teams. Kickers are part
Is
of
it bad
special
enough that
teams.
defense has been consolidated to all be one group of people? Now we have to include the kicker with them. Do you really think Ray Lewis and Rodrigo Blankenship should be on the same squad? I don't think so.
They are part of special teams.
Nah, defense / special teams. Special teams, nah. Kickers are separate.
Oh yeah, you were mad about special teams this past week, although you ended up still getting the victory against Bird here, but you were like, how does this count? They returned a punt against my special teams. How does this count against me?
So fun fact, the kick actually doesn't count against your defense. The extra point does, which jumped you to 7 points.
No, it's because of special teams. If a pick six happens, it doesn't count against your DST. If a kick is returned against you, it does, because the special teams is on the field. Defenses should also not.
Okay, we've gone way off the rails. It's already 7 minutes in.
Back on track.
Talked about a single football game. All right, Jesus.
Well-
So we already reviewed Thursday night's game and all the 1 o'clock games in yesterday's episode. So tonight we're going to talk about the 4 o'clock games, the Sunday night game, the Monday night game, and then we'll hop into some trivia and survivor picks. Are you guys ready for the 4 o'clock games?
Always.
All right, let's get into it.
This is me. All right? I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way. This is how I win. All right?
All right. First game we have on the Sunday slate. Whew, wild one already. New York Jets at the Los Angeles Chargers. Spread is Chargers minus 8.5 points. Over under set at 47. I'm going to lead off with this. If the Chargers lose this game to the Jets this week, this will be the last Chargers game I watch this season. I guarantee you that.
Lies.
No. If they lose to the Jets, I don't think I can watch anymore because at that point, I'm really hoping they lose out. I kind of want them to lose out now.
This year. You're saying this year?
This year.
Okay,
Yeah.
I said this year, but I still call it a lie.
No, it's bad enough watching them now,
You may
but
not watch on Red Zone, but
I won't watch them at all. And to be honest, I'm having trouble with this game. I want the Chargers to lose out so that I can get a higher draft pick. But if we lose to the Jets, I'll never hear the end of it. We already lost to the 0-35 Cleveland Browns a couple of years ago when they couldn't win a game.
I forgot that was.
We're their only loss in 2 years, or their only win in 2 years. So I can't let this happen again. So I really want them to win this one and then lose the rest. That being said, I've seen too many dramatic games happen this year. The Chargers offense has looked great, and so has Justin Herbert, but their defense is atrocious, and I don't think we cover the spread. I'm going to take the Jets plus 8.5.
wow.
Can't keep picking the Chargers every week. It's just hurting my thing. I can't do it. Give me the Jets.
Doesn't even pick his team. Just because of that, I'm picking the Chargers. Go, Chargers, go.
And now go Chargers, go.
No, the Chargers have an offense. As much as I think the spread is way too much, but just because you didn't pick the Chargers, I'm picking the Chargers because I'm now kind of picking against you. Not even against Vegas, against Bird, who's 2-27 and 2.
And every time that I've picked the games, what has happened? I've picked the Chargers, and they haven't covered once.
This is the time they do, because Herbert, new haircut, he's all serious.
Oh, big haircut, yeah.
Big serious. He's going into the Army. He's going to start the drills. Honestly, they have too many weapons. With Balajan Lindbeck and Williams and Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry, the Jets defense cannot contain an offense like that. Give me the Chargers.
I'm with you here. I'm taking the Chargers to cover here. It's the Jets. They did throw up some points against some teams recently, but I just don't foresee them being able to put up that much against the Chargers here. Chargers defense has not been great, but it's better than a lot of the teams the Jets have been playing and putting up points against. And the Chargers are going to be able to outscore them. I think that they're going to be able to cover the 8.5 here. I don't have much else to say other than the fact that Justin Herbert went from the jock in high school who, before the haircut, he was the jock in high school who kind of looked like he might still read a book in the library and be somewhat sensitive or something. Now he just looks like the jock, the 15-year-old who is stuffing kids in a locker and is an asshole. And I just foresee a proactive endorsement coming for Justin Herbert in the near future.
You know what? I'd rather my Chargers quarterback look like an infant than a man who has fathered 10 children. You convinced me. Let's go. I'm changing my pick. We're going with the Chargers. Fuck the Jets. And guess what? I'll give you a little tease out there, folks. I already put a teaser in last night when the Chargers were minus 7.5. Teased them down to 1.5. And teased the game we'll talk about a little bit later, the Packers and Colts. Teased the Packers up to 8.5. That's your teaser lock of the week, just in case you were curious.
Breaking news, this is a little bit sidetracked. Gordon Hayward just opted out of his contract.
I did see that.
Ooh.
What an idiot.
Oh, Celtics are going down in flames.
Oh, yeah. Because Gordon Hayward didn't miss 80% of the season last year.
No, I think that's great for the Celtics.
I think it's good, too.
So much cap space for them.
Agreed.
That is ridiculously good for them.
I love it.
They're going down in flames.
I know you're a Lakers fan, but that's crazy that he did that.
How about Dennis Schroeder, baby?
Yeah.
Now going on. Broncos, Dolphins?
Sure. All right, so the next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are getting 3.5 points at home. Over-under set at 45. Nick? Or Matt?
I'm in the middle of typing it, but Dolphins in the points. I actually wanted to switch. I need to switch this to my A+ lock for the week. But, the Dolphins, I don't know why people are discrediting them. Are they a 3.5 spread against the Broncos? The Falcons got 3.5 against the Broncos. And they were at home.
This is true. I'm with you.
This is ridiculous. There's no way this should be a 3.5. I know the Dolphins don't have a lightning offense, but and Tua is still a little lusty. But weren't the Cardinals minus 2.5 at home?
No, they were minus 5.
They're minus 5 against the Dolphins?
Yeah.
So you think there's 1.5 points between these two teams?
Oh, absolutely.
So this is ridiculous. Dolphins all day.
It does look like Drew Lock's going to play, which was a little bit up in the air early in the week.
I was about to look.
He practiced again today, Thursday, when we're recording, and it looks like he's on track to play, but the difference between Drew Lock and the next quarterback of Brett Ripien or whoever else isn't even that drastic. Yes, it would have cost a point or two in the spread, but I'm still going with the Dolphins here at 3.5. The hook scares me a little bit, what scares me the most about this game is it really feels like a game where everybody's going to be on the Dolphins. Like Nick just said, this is so clearly the Dolphins, and that scares me because it's a great letdown spot for a young up-and-coming team with a quarterback on the fourth game. I'm still taking the Dolphins. I agree. It scares the crap out of me.
I put the egg on my face over the clown commissioner. If the Dolphins do not...
I can't wait to Photoshop.
This is ridiculous.
You asked for this.
I did. I know.
That's going to be priceless.
Win big.
So what's your pick, Matt? You can put it in.
Dolphins.
Okay, Dolphins. I understand everything you said, and it definitely feels like a spot where the whole world's going to be on the Dolphins, so you should bet the Broncos. But the Broncos have just looked bad outside of a fourth quarter massive comeback against the Chargers, which That's not fucking saying much. I think that even a healthy Drew Lock is not going to measure up to him. I mean, it's really going to come down to the Broncos defense versus Tua, because I think the Dolphins defense will do enough to stymie the Broncos offense, and this is going to be a low-scoring game for sure. I was just pulling up the weather in Denver to see, but
it's the lowest over/under of the week.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At 45.
Yeah, it is. I just pulled up the weather for Denver. I was like, oh, maybe Tua gets stuck in a snow game in Denver, and that would hurt him.
This one's gonna move.
It's 52 and sunny.
Yeah.
So yeah, jump on the Dolphins as early as you can. -3.5. I think it's already moving to -4. So try to grab it before it gets out of control, and just hope the team with great defense and special teams keeps rolling, and that Tua doesn't fuck it up. All right. On to the next game. We have the Dallas Cowboys at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings favored by 7.5 points. Over/under is 48.5. What do you guys think?
Again, I'm a broken record. The hook scares me here with the 7.5. I'm still going with the Vikings. Andy Dalton looks like he's going to be coming back for this game. But even before Andy Dalton got murdered on the field, this offensive, Andy Dalton is a average to slightly above average quarterback when everything is good around him. This offensive line used to be one of the best in the league not too long ago. The offensive line is in shambles. They're missing, I think, 4 out of their 5 starters. And even with Andy Dalton coming back here, I still think the offense is going to struggle. Vikings defense has been getting better as of late, and the offense has been starting to click, quote unquote. It's still not the most fun offense to watch, but with Thielen and Justin Jefferson and obviously letting Dalvin cook, I'm going with the Vikings.
Nick?
Part of me thinks that the Cowboys will cover the points. The half point is really scary on the 7.5. But one person I want to touch base on is Jefferson. The kid's lights out. He's going to be probably the number 1 receiver on this team.
Already is.
And
He's out targeted Thielen. He's been out producing, out targeting. I agree that if he's not already, he is very close to being the one.
He will eventually be. I don't know if he is right now.
I think next year he will be.
Out targeting.
The past couple of weeks, as he gets further into the offense.
And I think it was. He runs routes as well as Keenan Allen, as well as Julio at such a young age. He is lights out, and I don't think the Cowboys can have anyone to cover him. So Vikings. I think he gets a deep touchdown this week.
You know, I like what Nick was saying, and the Vikings look so much better right now, but I still go back and remember early in the season when the Vikings secondary was getting blown up by teams, and as bad as Andy Dalton may be at this point, the amount of weapons that they have on that offense is still electric. I mean, Lamb, Gallup, Cooper, you got Zeke. I know the offensive line isn't great, but Minnesota's like bottom 6 in sack rate and pressure rate. They're not a strong defensive line. Like, they're getting by. They've been getting a lot of turnovers lately, but they're just not a team that I'm scared of that the Dallas is going to struggle to score. I mean, Dallas was able to put up 20-something points up against fucking.
Dalton's back?
Yes.
You're kind of convinced me.
And even if he isn't, this Minnesota defense doesn't scare me. As bad as the Cowboys defense is, they've got all their linebackers healthy again, and I think they might be able to stop the run a little bit. I mean, it's not like Minnesota has been going up against gangbuster defenses. Like, the Bears are good, but they only put up 19 there. And then before that, it was the Lions, Packers, Falcons, Seahawks, Texans. Those are all terrible defenses. Like, yeah, you can run on those teams. They're all bad. But when they're playing against the Colts or the Titans or the Bears, they don't put up many points. So I honestly think this is a game that Minnesota will win, but 7.5? Give me Dallas.
Yeah, I actually like that.
We're very confident in our picks on this podcast. We don't flip back and forth at all.
I said that the fact that it's 7.5 and not 7 does scare me. I'm still going to stick with the Vikings here, and I trust in Kirk Cousins more than I do Andy Dalton, which is that's.
I think it's gonna be like a 4-point
No,
game.
I trust the Vikings defense the way they've been playing over Dallas.
You gonna stay with the Vikings?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Vikings.
I'm the lone cowboy over here, so we'll see.
Lone Ranger.
A lot of these games are very controversial this week. It's good. I like it. All right, next game, which I think the whole world's going to be on one side of this one, just like the Miami game. We got the Green Bay Packers at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are favored by 2.5 points. Over-under is the second highest of the week, just because the Chiefs one isn't up. Over-under is at 51 points.
So, I mean, you're right. Obviously, the Green Bay is being taken more by the public here, but I'm looking at this right now, and the Packers are getting 61% of the bets, so a 60-40 split, but 58% of the money is coming in on Indy. So bigger bets are coming in on Indy, but more of the bets are coming in on the Packers.
Yeah,
that makes more sense because this is a line that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me at all.
But it makes more sense based on how the Colts played last week.
But that's a 1 week.
I mean, when I made this line, I had it as a pick 'em.
I had it as Colts plus 1.5, and Colts are minus 2.5. I was a little. I thought I was going to be a little off. I thought it would be close to a pick 'em one, but
Colts defense.
I mean, the Packers haven't looked good.
no. But the offense has.
No, really.
They put up
No, they
24 against the Jags
Understood,
at home.
and that's 1 week.
The week before that was the Vikings where they got their faces knocked in, right?
Yeah.
Was that last week?
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
No, sorry. No, there was a game
3
between
weeks.
that. There was a game between that. Oh yeah, they beat up the Niners on Thursday Night Football when they called up 4 practice squad receivers because their whole fucking team got COVID.
Yeah, so were all of the Packers running backs.
No.
Except for Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
No, I don't think he played 2 weeks ago.
He
He did. He played against the Niners. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then the week before that, I mean, again, this is a team that I think that they had a soft schedule. They played the Jaguars, a beat up 49ers, the Vikings, the Texans.
Yeah, besides that Saints win,
Name me an impressive win on the schedule.
the Saints win.
That's it.
In New Orleans.
That's it.
It's the only game that was impressive. And they got whooped by the Bucks. That
Yeah.
was a good defense.
I think you can also make the case on the Colts, though. Who have they played? Colts don't have any good wins.
They beat the Bengals.
I mean, they beat the Titans, which is a division game, and that was pretty close until the fourth quarter.
The Titans don't look that good anymore.
And the Colts haven't played anyone good. I mean, they have that one win against Tennessee last week, but
And it's a division game.
I mean, obviously the first game lost to Jags. That's learning curve.
I think that was just
That's
out of the gate bullshit game.
Lost to the Browns.
Yeah, that's not good. They lost to the Ravens, which that's fine. But yeah, they've beaten the Lions, Bengals, Bears, Jets, Vikings. I mean, like, both of these teams are relatively unimpressive. So,
I take the Falcons over both of them, you know?
oh,
I mean, I'll take the Chargers over them. I am going to start it off. I am going to go where the money is and not pick the Colts and pick the Packers.
I'm leaning Packers.
I got the Colts win. Yeah. I'll take the point. Give me Aaron
you're
Rodgers.
not with the money. You're with the public.
I know. I reversed my train of thought. I'll take Aaron Rodgers and points all day.
When I first saw this, I was already leaning Packers before the line came out, thinking that it'd be Colts plus 1.5. Now that it's Packers plus 2.5, I know it's only 2 points. I'm still going to take them. I'm going with the Packers here. I think that both these teams have mediocre to good offenses, and I mean the Packers clearly have a worse defense than the Colts, but I'm sticking with the Packers. I think offense wins this game.
Phillip Rivers and Aaron Rodgers played last year. The Chargers didn't win a lot of games last year, but they beat the Packers 26-11 on the back of Phillip Rivers. This Packers defense can't stop anyone. Jake fucking Luton ran all over their asses. And guess what? The strongest part of that Packers defense is Jair Alexander. Go put him on T.Y. Hilton because T.Y. Hilton fucking sucks anyway. So Phillip's going to do his thing. He's going to pass it around. They can gash it up the middle. And Packers are a very good offense. But guess what? the Colts have a great defense. You shut down Devontae Adams, they're not going to do shit. And give me the Colts minus 2.5. I'm with the money.
When the Packers lost last year to the Chargers, it was on the back of Phillip Rivers, right? With all of his 0 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just checking.
Who was the quarterback of the team?
I know.
Who was the quarterback of the team? On the back of Phillip Rivers.
On the back of the defense.
On the back of Phillip Rivers. Give me the Colts minus 2.5. Short list of super locks. It's not going to be a super lock.
Keep that in.
I'm on the Colts. We good? Are you thinking about changing your pick, or should we go to the next game?
You're gonna change every single pick 4 times, or
I didn't say anything.
you already did.
I didn't say anything.
You're really instilling confidence.
I hate that thing. Okay. I like the Colts. All right, go ahead. Next.
Right.
Chiefs, Raiders. Everyone, Chiefs. All right, boom, done. Everyone, Chiefs. The whole Raiders team has COVID. I mean,
The entire defense. I literally got a notification yesterday saying, "Wow, this is surprising. The entire Raiders defense is quarantining because of close contact tracing. If they all test negative, they can play."
All right, so it's Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders. The line is 7. There is no over-under because, as Matt just mentioned, 6 starting defensive players for the Raiders are on COVID protocol, all thanks to Cleveland Farrell. Is that his name? Cleveland? Yep. Cleveland Farrell tested positive for COVID, so they are without six people.
come on. That's easy. Come on. We don't need to talk about this.
I've seen the over/under. It's not up on a lot of books. I've seen it at 56.5, which is pretty high for this. But I'm going with the Chiefs here. I've seen this line at 7.5, and if it were that hook at 7.5, I'd probably lean the Raiders.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
The Raiders already beat them this year,
Chiefs.
and I don't think they're going to do it again.
Chiefs
But
by like 40.
Chiefs by $1 million.
Yeah.
I agree. But if
No, take the Raiders. Take the Raiders.
Yeah, go ahead. Take the Raiders.
Take
Be
the
I said
Raiders.
from the
Be
beginning,
different. Yeah, you've been contrarian all day.
Do you know how to spell, or just checking?
Honestly, I've never spelled the word Chiefs right in my life. Spell it wrong every single time.
I mean, come on. It's the Chiefs. We don't even need to talk about this game. Next game we'll talk about.
Fun fact. Well, it's not a fact, but Andy Reid out of a bye is like, I think, undefeated. He might have 1 loss. Like, he's gang beater, and you're going to Patrick Mahomes now.
Andy Reid off the bye.
I mean, if any of these games were available, I'd be.
Yeah, as soon as this Chiefs line opens up again, if it's at 7, I'm hammering it.
Yeah,
Hammering it. And any teaser you want, just package it with it. Yes, the Raiders beat the Chiefs earlier in the year, but that was a fucking fluke. And to be honest, the way Mahomes has been playing lately, forget it. Are you kidding me?
They were a little bit
shit.
struggling against Carolina.
Andy Reid is 24-5 off the bye, including playoffs.
24? I mean,
That's awesome. No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, maybe that's all you have to say.
the legend.
All right, final game.
All right, on to the
I'm
Monday
gonna pick
night.
last. I'm gonna have you guys pick because I feel like you've been copying my picks a lot.
Oh, yeah,
so
sure.
I'm just gonna say it last.
I'm the sole person on like 4 of these games. All right, on to the Monday night football game. We have the Los Angeles Rams against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The spread is Bucks minus 3.5. Over under is 48.5. I'll start. I think this Bucks team is on a roll. I know they've had a couple of struggle games, but this is a big primetime game where they have struggled this year. They have not been good in primetime, unfortunately. But the Rams haven't looked good this year. You go up against the Seattle, for the most part. I mean, they're 6-3, but they just went up against Seattle and could barely score 20-something points. Like, the offense just isn't what it was years ago. It's just they can't put up those big games. That 60 to 58 point Chiefs Rams game from Monday night a few years ago, I don't think it exists.
Oh, I just creamed my pants you mentioning that again.
Oh my God, it was such a good game. I would love for that to be a similar game, but I just don't think it's going to be. I think that the Bucks have the number 2 offensive line when it comes to pass blocking, I'm pretty sure. So I think they're going to be able to handle Aaron Donald in that pass rush. And guess what? Jalen Ramsey's great. But who are you going to cover? Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, or Mike Evans? Because they have 3 Pro Bowl receivers and Gronk. So Brady can just throw whatever the fuck he wants to. And I just don't think the Rams offense is going to be able to keep up with the Bucks. I think the Bucks can cover the spread. Give me Tampa Bay.
I'm going with the Bucks as well here, but my big reason with this is the Andrew Whitworth injury last week for the Rams that's going to be such a big loss. And the only reason the Rams have been looking a little bit better so far this year versus last year is that their O-line's actually been playing well. Their biggest issue last year was very clearly the O-line.
Whitworth he's ranking much better than he has in the last few years.
Yeah, no, and I mean, he's an old man at this point. He's old enough to be a lot of his teammates' fathers, legitimately. And I loved him on the Bengals. He's a Hall of Famer. I just don't feel like the Desert does a good job of accounting and changing the spread based on O-line injuries because nobody knows what the fuck, like, unless you play football.
The Desert, I like that.
Vegas.
Yeah, no, I got it, but
I don't think that they took into account the loss of Andrew Whitworth, and I'm going with the Bucs -3.5 here. I think that it's going to be at least a 7-point victory for him.
I agree with you. When Ronnie Stanley went down for the Baltimore Ravens, he was, I don't know, top 3 offensive lineman in the league. Didn't change shit for the spreads, and they've been struggling ever since. They can't move the ball.
Yep.
There's a big reason for that. When your best offensive, he's probably the best offensive player. I think he's better than Lamar at his position. I'm
Probably, yeah.
Top 5 pick was I mean, just signed, I think, the second most lucrative offensive lineman contract in the history of the league. Like, he's very, very, very good. I think the win rate percentage I saw for him was 97%. I don't want to get too far into that. 97% on pass rush rate, win rate. Like, he's a monster. So I agree with you. I think that's going to have a big impact. Nick, what do you think?
You guys are saying a lot of impressive stuff.
Going with the Rams?
I am sticking with my gut here.
What about the Desert, Nick?
My mind is set on. You guys convinced my mind on the Buccaneers.
My mind.
And I don't see that. I see the Rams as a team that is starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. I just don't know why I picked the Rams because I also agree the Bucs have a lot of weapons, but I'm just gonna take the talent on defense for the Rams to make plays on Brady, and I think they get to him today. Brady has been protected all year.
Yep.
And I think they get to him. And I mean, as much as you think that the Bucs are great, barely beat the Giants. Like
they're up and down for sure.
Well, that's why I said their primetime struggles are noticeable, but that's the. I mean, well, okay, tough game with the Giants. Whoop-de-doo. Like, everyone struggles with that. They also
they struggled heavily against the Saints.
Yeah, in both games.
Saints have their number. I'll give you that.
Saints are way better than the Rams.
They struggled against the Bears. They struggle against really good defense that can get to them.
Yeah, but the Bucs also have a top elite defense this year, and Goff also struggles with pressure. So who do you trust more?
They accounted for that against how they played against Miami. They figured out how to. They got exposed against Miami. They figured out how to do it against Seattle, and I think that the Rams are gonna. This is gonna be I think
they figured it out against Seattle. Seattle might have the lowest pressure rate in the league.
I get that, but I think the Rams just figure it out. They ran the ball a lot against the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, well, because they knew that's where they could win. I mean, you can win against that defense either way, run or pass, but it was working for them.
I think they're going to pass. I think they're going to pass all of them.
You want to talk about the Bucs struggling with the Giants? The Rams only beat the Giants by a touchdown. They struggled with them too. They barely beat Washington. They lost to the 40 fucking Niners.
Yeah, when the Kittle and everyone was in.
Struggled with the Bears.
The whole team was in though. Kittle and Garoppolo were in.
I don't think Garoppolo was.
Yeah, they were. Both were in.
Yeah, maybe.
So that was with a full 49ers team. I think the Rams cover. I actually think the Rams win this game.
It's not a bad money line bet if you're confident in it. It's fuck the 3.5, take the money line. Yeah. I think this is gonna be the best game of the week for sure.
Yep. And I think the Bucs they think they're all cool. They put up big points against the Panthers.
What, they think they're cool?
Yeah, Brady with his says, "Oh, what do you think? 7-3 or whatever, 7-2."
He just held up the 6 rings.
Yeah, with Godwin and Evans. What do you guys think about 8-3 next week? Oh yeah, we love it. Yeah, fuck you guys. Also,
this is from inside the clubhouse. Nick Cametta here.
No, Brady posted a video of it. And mark this down: the Falcons will beat the Bucs one time this year.
I will say I'm a little biased because I have a future on Bucks over 9.5 wins. So if they get this one, I feel like that locks it in.
Yep.
Because they will beat the Falcons twice. I guarantee that.
Go ahead.
All right.
That sounds like a show bet to me.
You want to make a bet?
Luminati, you just. I'm sorry, I saw his Luminati's props XXXXXX minus 130. What is this? What's going on? What is that?
Oh, I must
What
have
is
typed
that?
over it. It was I said it on the last show. It was Christian Kirk
Oh, yeah.
over reception over 4.
Okay. What are you, hieroglyphics? No, actually, I had that as under 4.
It's
Over. I had. Okay.
it's recorded. We
You wanna
can go
make-
back.
You want to make a little bet on the little
I'm
side
not
bet?
betting on the Falcons.
Be a little side bet.
You were so blustery a second
It's
ago.
not fun. You got to wear a Chargers jersey to work. How's that?
No.
Come on, I'll wear a Falcons jersey.
The Falcons are not what we're betting on.
To win one game.
You said you guaranteed it. Now you're backing down from that statement. You went on a rant how the Bucks can't beat the fucking Giants and the Rams are so much better. You won't make a bet with me? I've already lost this once. I've lost it. I had to wear a Yankees jersey here. Okay, I think this should be a good bet.
That's why I brought it up just for this.
Man,
This is so worth
Jersey
it.
bet. Come on.
I have to wear what?
You have to wear a Chargers jersey.
And get a
I
Justin
don't have to
Herbert.
buy a Justin.
No, I'll bring one in.
Justin Herbert haircut.
You need a haircut.
I'm kidding.
And I'll wear whatever Falcons jersey.
We'll talk about it when that game comes.
Oh my God! All right.
I'm not making a bet and someone gets injured. And that's the same with you. If Brady goes down, you're not betting.
Excuse me. Josh Rosen is the backup. I will.
I didn't even know that.
It took me a second to remember who it was.
We're going to postpone this, and also I'm just going to try to. Hopefully, you guys forget.
Yeah. All right. We'll
I already put a
table
note
that.
down. Don't worry.
All right.
All right. So let's review our A+ locks of the week.
Blaine Gabbert is the backup.
Oh, even better.
Not terrible.
I think Rosen's on the squad somewhere. Though.
Yeah, he is.
All right. So what do we think for our A+ locks of the week? Nick, you have Bengals money line. You want to keep that one, or are you going to change it?
Hell yeah. Let's ride.
It's not the Bengals. It's just Bengals money line. Well, actually, I think it's a pick 'em anyway, so it's. Yeah, might as well just call it Bengals.
I haven't even thought about this honestly.
Well, you can pause and we can.
Research once in a while. Jeez.
Go for it, Bird.
I'm looking at the board right now, and I'm between two games right now. I
Let's talk it out. What do you got?
well, I want to do the Chiefs, but I feel like it's disingenuous because the line's not actually
that
up
one,
there,
You can't do that one. I'm going to say
so that's not fair.
you can't do any game that's like kind of on that the lines will change drastically.
Titans +6.
All right.
That's my super lock.
When we both took
My
the Ravens,
it's not my super lock. My A+ lock of the week.
and I am locking up the New England Patriots at -2.5 at the Texans.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sure you want to do
Whoa.
that?
All right. So next we got to pick our favorite over/unders.
A lot of these games go up and down. I mean, I will do a.
Okay, so
He's good.
I'm going to lead off because I hit my over-under last week with the Ravens and Patriots. And I'm going to go back to that game. I'm going to do the Patriots-Texans under 49.
I like that.
Yeah, no, I like it. I'm going to stick with two terrible offenses that I don't know how the over-under is set at 48.5, and I'm going under Vikings-Cowboys.
I was the one I was between. I was between the two. I like that one. It's a good one.
Both of those are great. You guys like unders. I'm never going to bet a lock as an under. I'm going to go with an over and give me the Saints and Falcons over.
I figured you'd go there.
I love it.
At 50, I like it.
50 is too.
It's just Jameis. It's just Jameis. You never know.
Yeah.
True.
He's going to get some garbage time because the Falcons are going to go up big.
But even if he throws a bunch of picks, maybe that helps in the Falcons return one. Like, that could go either way.
Liberty's back. Julio's back. All healthy. Michael Thomas is at least back. Kamara's going to run all over that team.
If Kamara plays,
I think he's in play.
I think so.
I mean, what do you guys think of the Colts-Packers one? I almost want to go under on that one, but I feel like that's kind of silly.
I think it's going to be a lot of unders this week.
I do too. I'm looking at this. I'm like, ugh. Even the Chargers Jets. I mean, the Chargers Jets will probably go over, but we suck. Anyway, all right. So those are A+ locks for the week. Those are our over and unders for the week. Our A- over unders for the week. So that wraps up our Sunday slate, and I think that'll move us into the fun portion of this. We got a little bit of trivia from Nick this week. What do we got, Nick?
We're going to go back to football because this is a football podcast, even though I like to switch it up a little bit.
I figured topical NBA draft or something, but all right. You're throwing
We
it.
had the Masters last week.
Nah,
Okay.
fuck NBA. No one.
Gordon Hayward getting dropped or not resigning.
The draft no one cares about because no one watched college basketball this year.
And this draft was terrible.
And no one knew anyone. There was no hype on it. The guy that went number 1 overall doesn't even like basketball. I didn't even
know Georgia had a program.
Yeah, he's quoted that he hates watching basketball and does not watch film. He only likes playing it. And he went first of all. Hates the sport, but likes playing. Okay, sure.
Yeah, a lot of the best baseball players also hate baseball.
Anthony Rendon's only.
I mean,
Tim Anderson.
Brooks Koepka.
And Brooks hates golf.
Yeah, but I mean, majority of these people. I mean, so we're gonna go back to football here. There are 4 teams in NFL history to never make the Super Bowl. Name those 4 teams, and also as a bonus, one of these 4 teams has never made a Super Bowl and has never hosted the Super Bowl. Name me that one team.
All right, so
outside of
never made a Super
there
Bowl.
are 4 teams that have never made a Super Bowl in NFL history. Now, please note it's a Super Bowl, not a
Correct.
Out of those 4 teams, 1 team has never made the Super Bowl, obviously, and has never hosted the Super Bowl.
So 4 teams haven't made the Super Bowl and 1 didn't even host.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 that have never made it have hosted the Super Bowl.
All right, so Packers, Patriots, Steelers, and yeah, those are my first 3 guesses.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can get the 4.
Jags.
But
Jags is definitely
I
one
think
of my
Jags.
actual
Yeah.
guesses.
I think
I'm marking them down.
Jags. I think Browns. Browns have ever been. Pretty positive on that one.
Hey, off the computer.
I'm on an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, I got it.
I think Panthers.
I'm right looking at it myself.
So
Lions. Lions definitely have never been.
Bird has Lions,
Lions and Browns.
Browns, and Jags. You have what?
Jags and Lions for right now, because he's right on the Lions. I said Jags. The Falcons ever been? Oh,
I know. I'm looking at this
right.
board. There's 4 teams that aren't on here.
Twice, if you actually. Is that more than the Bengals?
I mean, when was the last time you guys won a playoff game? I know you. Wait.
1889.
No, they've been to a Super Bowl.
Yes. In 89. Texans. I'm looking at expansion teams. That's why I went Jags and Texans have never been to a Super Bowl. Texans have hosted one.
Browns, they're the ones that haven't hosted. And I'm going to go with Texans too. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Texans, Lions, Browns, Jags. I'm going to say the Browns haven't hosted.
I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to say that the Jags haven't hosted.
The Jags have hosted.
Damn it.
Bird is correct. The Browns have never hosted.
Fucking North, man.
Never been to a Super Bowl.
Those are the 4 teams?
Those are the 4 teams.
Nice.
Teamwork.
Good job.
Taking each other's answers. Time, anyone, time. Time, anyone. All right, no, good job. Good job.
Hey, let's think of the 4 worst teams of the last decade. Oh, there they are.
I just went expansion. Jags and Texans were easy
Yeah,
because of that.
Browns too.
Yeah, but
Kind of.
they were old as well.
They changed the name. The Browns were.
Well, the Browns were an expansion team because the Colts, or the Browns became the Colts.
Yeah, the Browns.
And then became an expansion. But they were
Yeah, and
before
then,
the Colts.
yeah.
So there you go.
Nice. That's a good one. Kind of. That was good. That was good. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a fun one. Hope you guessed along with us. Probably you were a little quicker than us on that one. But all right. I think now that we had that trivia out of the way, we can move on to Survivor picks.
Let's make this quick because no one cares about Survivor anymore.
Oh, are
wow.
you? Hang on.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Hang on. Are you a little bit bitter, Nick?
This is the way. I've been watching The Mandalorian a lot, so I kept on saying this is the way. This is the way, and I wrote it out. Each week I wrote this is the way, and obviously it wasn't the way because the Eagles are dead to me. Even
What's
though I picked
funny
them
is
this week.
what's funny is last week I had to do the Survivor section by myself, and I started doing it. And I go, I know Eagles are Nick's pick. I don't know why, but he has.
Because that was the way.
Yeah, clearly.
That was the way, and if.
So Nick's logic was he had to save some teams for later in the season, so it was a good opportunity to take a team that wasn't very good, which is not bad advice, especially when you have to pick two teams. But at a certain point, you just need to win and survive and worry about it next week because you never know when a quarterback will go down, like a Drew Brees or a Dak Prescott, and then life changes.
The worst part is that on Thursday morning, I was actually going to switch the Eagles to the Lions, but the Stafford never got cleared. And that was the only thing. If Stafford was cleared, I was going to pick. We have to lock it in by Thursday, which is stupid. I hate that because there's so much that can change between Thursday and Sunday.
That's why I like my other league better.
And
you guys should get in it.
I mean, the Lions barely pulled it out too. At least they would have, but you would have been sweating in your pants.
I would have been sweating either way, but I had the Eagles and Lions both circled and
sweating your pants. Why did I say that?
As well as the Packers. This week it's I think relatively
issues down
easy.
there.
This week you're gonna go two teams. You're gonna go Chargers and Vikings. It's an easy pick to get out.
I mean, those are good picks, but Pittsburgh is the top pick.
Pittsburgh is the top pick. It's not even close. Pittsburgh's the top pick. Then I agree with you. I think the Vikings are too. I'm honestly fucking petrified of the Chargers. I will not be taking them. No.
In a two-team league?
Currently in our two-team league, I do not have the Chargers selected.
When are you going to pick them?
Probably never, Nick. Probably never. Because I honestly don't know if they'll win another game this year.
How many teams? They play the Falcons? Are you going to take them then?
Probably not, unless something changes, man. Like, the defense is so fucking bad.
But the way ours is set up is I think there's only, 6 or 7 teams that if you make it the full 17 weeks, if it goes that far,
I'm in the second. I'm in the second chance.
Got it.
So, and I've already won with the Browns, the Lions,
I know, but
the Eagles. Like, I have a lot of bad teams that I use, so I'm going to start using some of my good teams. And I think the Vikings are safe. I think the Steelers, again, I said this on yesterday's episode, I'm worried about the Steelers because the fucking Jags knock me out every year. But the Steelers are no brainer for me. You're not going to use the Steelers again unless you use them against the Bengals on the road, and I don't want to do that.
You can.
I think you can also push off Minnesota if you want to take the.
When would you use Minnesota
against Jacksonville at home 2 weeks from now?
In 2 weeks.
Ooh, okay.
So I would say Jets. I mean Chargers and Steelers. That's what I had in This Is the Way.
So situationally, though, just without the bias for your league, if someone's just in a one-thing league, how would you rate it? Steelers 1.
Steelers are obviously 1, then you're going to Chargers, and then Vikings.
We have another one on there. I mean, Chiefs seem like a good one.
Chiefs, you push off.
Save the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs would be that fourth
option.
option.
The schedule. They go ahead and they play the Falcons at some point. They play
Week 16. They play Denver Week 13. Chargers Week 17.
Chargers again.
So
they got some time. They play the Broncos again. They're gonna. There's plenty of time to pick the Chiefs.
Okay. Do we have any confidence in any other games on here? I mean,
Baltimore would be another one, but I wouldn't want to use a powerhouse on a team.
I don't.
Baltimore is not a powerhouse.
What about the Pats?
No, the Pats, you wait till week 17 if you have to pick them against the Jets. The Ravens do play the Jags at home in a couple weeks.
And Dallas.
And they play Dallas as well, so pick them.
I'm just saying, like some of these people might have already used Baltimore and Pittsburgh and the Chiefs. So, like getting down here, like people were desperate. I mean, where would you go next outside of some of the big ones, like Steelers and like I've already used the Chargers in one pool, and a lot of people have already used the Steelers. So,
yep,
I am saying Vikings are good value. I doubt.
What about the Saints against your Falcons? Jameis.
No.
Ooh. No, there's a lot of close
No.
Close matchups this week, like we already said.
Obviously the Saints probably win that game, but I don't like it.
I'm saving the Saints for next week when they go play Denver in Denver.
I think if you're feeling ballsy,
this is the way. So I'm assuming that my strategy is going to win out because I lost this week. It's how it worked last year. As soon as you map it out after week 10, I lost in week 11 last week. Yeah, and the year before that, I actually lost in week 14, which was a long one. But then everything else out won. So I'm assuming the last 2 years I've mapped it all out. My teams have won on out afterwards. So I'm assuming this week I actually did have the Steelers and Chargers.
Okay. I like it. I mean, I've got Pittsburgh in my single entry one, and I think I've got my map. This is my road map for the rest of the year, my single entry one. It's Pittsburgh this week, New Orleans at Denver, Raiders hosting the Jets, Seattle hosting the Jets, Tennessee in week 15 hosting Detroit. Detroit. That week's tough. There's not a lot of good games on that slate. I can change it by then. And then Tampa Bay week 16 at Detroit. And then New England, like you said, against the Jets week 17.
You've already used Baltimore, I assume?
Baltimore's already used.
Yeah, because they play the Jags that week that you're saying is tough. But yeah.
The Titans, yeah.
Go back. Let me open this up. Okay, this is for people, and I'll reference this later. This is how I had it. I had week 11, Minnesota and Pittsburgh or Chargers against Jets. Week 12, I had New Orleans at Denver, and then you go to week 13 at Kansas City, home to Denver, and then you have 14, you have Tennessee at Jacksonville. Then week 15, you have Baltimore at Jacksonville. Week 16, you have Cleveland at the Jets. And then week 17, you got the Pats at Jets. Or that's how you do it for a single team. That's what I would do.
It's not bad. It's not bad. All right. Hopefully that helps you navigate some of your survivor decisions. I'm sure a lot of you out there will probably be using the Steelers, but if not, you got to take your chances on one of these other teams. So hopefully it pays out for you. All right. Do we have anything else we want to talk about? Any good fantasy news or anything? I mean,
any corrupt commish updates?
Yeah, seriously. I can't wait to win Matty My Ties.
I mean, right now we can talk a little bit about fantasy because Livinati's about to get kicked out of the league, right?
You mean just knocked out of the playoffs?
Is that you two played each other this week. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, last week. Oh yeah, Bird and I we faced off. We can talk about that.
Nice lucky win. We already talked about it. It was yesterday's episode.
Lucky win? Oh, I just mentioned it. I'm sorry.
All right, trophy's still in my office.
Well,
most points in the league. It's coming over to the VDC this year.
So this year, this will be the first time a reigning champ didn't make the playoffs.
That's not true yet. I can still make the playoffs.
I'm saying if you lose this week.
Yeah, you didn't say that.
If you lose this week.
If you lose this week, you're fucked, because then you get me next week. And then Baldner right after. Oh my God, Danny.
No, he played
Baldner. No, he's against Danny.
Oh, I played Baldner.
He has a shit schedule.
I do. I just played Savannah.
Baldner's got a tough road, too. Yeah. All right, well, it's going to be interesting. I know why the commissioner's at the top, because he's been conning his way up there all year.
How?
Hilarious.
Did
your bullshit trades.
Savannah literally take advantage of this?
I saw that. I was going to look at how many. It's tough to tell how many bench slots. How many were we supposed to have? 6?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, she definitely did. She added 2 people without dropping any. Check her. I mean,
I only saw Winston. I didn't see the second.
Yeah, she definitely abused that. You gotta.
Wait, no, she's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, she just added Carlos Hyde.
She had 2 open spots.
She did mention she had 1. The other one must have been IR.
Oh, damn.
What?
Savannah just so smart in the league.
She actually had 2 open spots. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that. But yeah, we can review the standings a little bit. Kamish up on top at 7-3. Savannah tied at 7-3 in second. Danny Angelo Santo.
He's up to third.
Holy 6 straight wins.
6 straight wins.
At 7-3, Baldner at 6-4, Your host, Matty Maitai, at 5-5.
With the most points in the league.
Hey, who has the most points in the league? Has anyone said that yet?
I'm not sure.
By a shit ton, too.
No, by a shit.
120 points.
Yeah, it is.
That's a full week. It's a full week.
It's impressive.
Rick tied at 6 at 5 in 6 at 5-5, tied at 5-5. Big Bad Ballner Bill, who has made the most controversial moves of the year, trading away Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
How many wins in a row is he at?
He's at 3 in a row.
Since these trades.
Yep. Traded Helaire, Evans, and Drake for Josh Allen, Cooks, and a nobody. I mean, the most controversial trade. And then that also beat me into giving him Dalvin Cook, who had an easy schedule. And
It's
let me
worked.
talk about this.
It's worked.
What is your thought position on trading up Dalvin Cook for Hopkins and Kareem Hunt? Now that we've been, 3 weeks into the trade? What are your thoughts on it? Now, think about...
You lost the trade.
So you lost the trade. Now, you're thinking, right now I'm losing. But is there a chance I'd still win that trade?
If Nick Chubb breaks a leg,
No other way?
you have a backup running back and a...
I mean, he's not a backup. He has standalone value.
He does, but you basically have a flex player, and
Yes.
you traded away the second best fantasy player for Hopkins, who's great, but you downgraded your star to gain a flex running back who's not even the starter on his own team.
Now I am a big component of looking at playoff schedules. Proponent or whatever it is. I'm a big person at looking at playoff schedules.
Oh, okay. So DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to get... Oh, sorry. I thought week 13, which is what I thought was 14, he's getting locked down.
You got the Giants.
Have a great defense.
Eagles.
Bad.
San Fran. Bad.
Sherman will be back.
Really?
Bad.
Yeah.
When is he coming back? I was curious about... Okay, nice.
Bad.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
Giants, not as good on the pass defense.
He's coming back this week when they're on bye.
So you have that, and then look at who Dalvin Cook has. Dalvin Cook has, let me see, I think the 3 worst rush defenses.
The 3 toughest, you mean?
Yeah, the 3 toughest. He has at Tampa Bay, home to Chicago, and then at New Orleans.
I don't know how good New Orleans... They're a good run defense. I don't know if they're elite, but yes, those are 3 tough...
Good.
Yeah.
So, as much as this trade has been controversial, I look at trade value.
It doesn't fucking matter if you win. Like,
But the thing is,
Bill could still miss the playoffs. You're sitting in first place with a bye week.
Also, it puts into the perspective, the trade that I have made has cost Bill to beat Bird, which put me up to first. It put me ahead this week to beat him because if I had Dalvin Cook, I wouldn't have Hopkins and Hunt, and I would have lost this week. And
I'm
the
going
week
to beat him in
before,
the playoffs. He can do his whole
the
rant.
trade in itself has been bad, but it's helped me to win.
Is this your therapy session? Is
It
this...
cost you 2 wins.
It had him beat me. It had him beat Baldner.
It allowed me to win against.
This is just his way of justifying the trade. He's just trying to talk. Do you want a couch to lay down on? Or?
You gotta look big picture.
I can't wait for
Big
Dalvin
picture.
Cook to go off in the playoffs.
Big picture.
Oh my God, that'd even be better.
Big picture.
I really hope you lose the 1 seed so you have to play Bill first round and then Dalvin Cook beats you. That'd be priceless.
It would. Big picture.
You would be the reason that you knocked yourself out of the playoffs.
Big picture.
All right. I think we've already talked about this too much. I think we're running a little long on our time this week, so we'll wrap it up. As I said earlier in the show, make sure to like the YouTube video, share it around, subscribe if you haven't already, and I really appreciate you listening if you're still here, and thanks for coming in.
See ya.